What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter, and a lot of people been asking me about FBG Duck case. I guess because they seen Gunner and a few other guys kind of like beat a Rico case. If you want to look at it like that, taking the plea deal is kind of like beating a Rico case. It don't really look like the Rico that hard after watching what they did. But I think it's different with Oblock 5 and Duck case, Thug is being accused of being a leader or something that did a lot of bad shit. Not him per se, breaking people and doing shit. You get what I'm saying? With Oblock, they claiming that those guys had something indirectly to do, like directly to do with FBG Duck death. They're claiming that those guys got together, banded together, and went to murder FBG Duck while he was downtown.
Dog here today for Thursday, October 14th goes to the 5 individuals who were hit with the Rico over what law enforcement is calling a mob-style attack on a rapper known as FBG Duck. The Rico, a law the feds first aimed at gangsters, is now being used to prosecute these men. Okay, I'm reading the article on ABC 7 Chicago, and it's very descriptive. Whoever wrote this did a phenomenal job. They said on August 4th, 2020, it looked like an old-time outfit attack on Chicago's Oak Street. 2 attack cars, 4 shooters, and a hail of bullets. But the target wasn't a 1930s gangster. It was a new millennium rapper, FBG Duck. Investigators and city officials say he was a gang member whose videos had irked members of a rival gang. 5 of the alleged rival gang members stand charged with his killing under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, commonly called the RICO, and I'm not talking about love. There is nothing to love about the RICO, okay? The law was created in 1970 to help dismantle traditional organized crime, all right? The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois said the 5 suspects are members of the Oblock Street Gang. Fed said the reason that this is charged federally is that we were able to establish evidence that there was a racketeering enterprise here that was involved, and this murder was done in furtherance of that. These brothers range in age of 22, 30, 28, 30, and 22. Young brothers, man. The indictment also includes, charges for firearm violations and assaults in the aids of racketeering. This was a collaboration between federal, state, county, and local law.
I'm not gonna lie, when the feds come in, they be strong. But one thing I can tell you about with Duck and them case that's different from Thug and them case, you heard a lot of chatter of people cooperating on Thug and them case. You seen the rappers taking plea deals and shit like that, seeing things as a gang. We seen none of this with Oblock. You don't hear no rumors of nobody telling, nobody snitching. There's no cooperation. These guys are claiming they innocent. Now, I'm not here standing for him because I think FBG Duck murder was a travesty. I think the way he was gunned down was so inhumane. He was shot a lot of times. His body was rattled a lot of times while standing downtown doing something that a lot of people don't do, take care of their kids, man, shit for their kids. And I think people don't understand that. You can listen to Duck music. You can hear the soulfulness in it. He was changing a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. Duck had a lot of disrespectful songs, songs that a lot of people wouldn't like, dissing dead people and dead relatives and shit. We got to be honest, but if you ain't in that, then you probably wouldn't understand, and I tell people that all the time. That's because you always happy. You're not from them neighborhoods where beef was getting inherited and shit. I don't co-sign it, but while doing these interviews and talking to a lot of these young people, some of these people be born in this shit, But I'm going to say, Duck case and them do not remind me of Young Thug case. Young Thug case had a lot of cooperation in it. Now, I don't know if cooperating is snitching. I don't know. They saying shit is not a gang. I don't know. Well, it ain't snitching. Cool. That's how you look at it. Names and paperwork and telling and agreeing to things that might be able to hurt somebody else, in my opinion, is cooperating. I don't know if it's snitching, saying he did it. I don't know that, but it's kind of dry, maybe a small tail in my opinion. And that's what it kind of feels like, because the feds are strong in this. When they come in, they got so many resources. You got to understand, the feds be getting cameras, and they can subpoena you, and they can go in homes and get video footages, and they just got so much resources that, they able to dig deep. Normally when the feds come in, it's like your life is thrown away. To be honest with you, it's hard beating that. But it's a lot of rumors on the street. I done been told that, some of these guys that been arrested for this case were actually not involved in this shit. You know, I was told the police got some of the wrong people in this shit. I was told that these guys had nothing to do with this shit. All those guys had nothing to do with this shit. I was told those guys had something to do with this shit. That's why I say we don't really know. You know, I was told that Los had nothing to do with this shit. I was told that it's a few guys in there had nothing to do with that shit. Then I was told all those guys had something to do with that shit. Then I was told they didn't have nothing to do with that shit. That's why I say the internet and the street talk is real thick. And it ain't a lot of information coming out because the feds is involved. They hold a lot of that shit strong to make you cop out for one of these deals, or, you know, you end up getting convicted. So that's what's strong with the feds and shit. So I'm not sure what's going on with this case. We're going to be following this case. You got to remember, this trial is going to be sometime next year, which is coming real soon. It's going to be in the fall. It's going to be an end date on this, you know. Somebody either going to be found guilty or found innocent. I think this is going to set a whole big wave in Chicago because this is a big case. This happened in the Gold Coast. There's a lot of famous people live out there. Chicago Bears players, Bulls players, Oprah Winfrey, coaches, you know, big business people. It's a lot of shit shut down because of that killing. A lot of hotel, retail, fashion shops. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit stopped. A lot of businesses stopped construction because they wanted to know that, was this an isolated incident or was this shit happening every day? Is people blinking? Blah, 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 blah. Is people going to die out here? You know, so I tell people that just because you don't care about your neighborhood, you don't go to your town hall meetings or the school meetings or the neighborhood watch meetings, you don't give a fuck about what's going on outside your door, don't mean everybody else like that. These successful people want to know what's going on. They be going to them Starbucks and shit. They want to make sure they're not going to get robbed or mugged going there. So this is a big case, you know. This is going to be at the Federal Dirksen building. So this is not a state case. This is going to be a Fed case. A lot of eyes is going to be on this case, you know. And it's a lot of things in that trial that's going to come out. Rap lyrics and all kind of things. Look for this case to kind of trend when it come out. We're going to be following it, though. But in my opinion, the Young Thug and Duck case, it's not the same. It's similar because it's rappers involved in the RICO charge, but I think Duck and them charge is a little more strong in my opinion. You know, like the Oblock gang. That's why they do it like that. We know YSL really a crew, and they try to say it's a gang, but a crew of niggas. But that's what they doing with the Oblock shit. They didn't put it under Black Disciples or BD. They put it under the Oblock gang, so they're able to show that the racketeering charges by doing that. You know what I'm saying? This some old shady shit. That's why I say instead of giving them murder charges or attempted murder, to put the RICO on the Oblock was kind of weird because normally those charges for like mobsters and Al Capone and shit like that, Elliot Ness, you know, that was a way to lock everybody up who had something to do with the whole Oblock movement, in my opinion. And another thing is, for them to get those videotapes, in my opinion, I feel like maybe security inside of there kind of tired of a lot of that mess that's going on or shit that's going on around it, or maybe allegedly things, or maybe how the internet and the world perceive this place, because the surveillance tapes they got had to come from out of Oblock, in my opinion, you know, or around it and shit like that, you know. So everybody not okay with this rowdy, reckless ass behavior, in my opinion. But one thing I can say is that just because the internet says it and a person is arrested, you know, sometimes when it's rappers involved, the police go extra on it. We seen Blueface. They gave him attempted murder charges and we felt like the world was over with. Now he on reality shows knocking people out and joking and shit. We just seen these guys from YSL, you know, all take plea deals, and it kind of feel like Thug might end up beating this for some reason. You know, even though they telling this shit, this kind of just feel like it might not be that serious, because you got to remember, Thug ain't shoot nobody. He ain't kill nobody. You just got to tie him into it and say he had something to do with it. You know, so I think this ain't, you know, this is a strong case, but I do think Thug got a chance to beat this because he ain't kill nobody, he ain't shoot anybody, he ain't selling no drugs, you know, and he got a rich ass lawyer, so I'm pretty sure they're working hard to cut those connections and ties that they say Thug got, you know. And it might be a little easier now since these niggas turned on him, so he ain't got no reason to save him, in my opinion. But I don't think this like Duck case. I think Duck case is extra severe. This was a murder in front of a rich neighborhood, you know, of a rapper. And Duck was shot a lot of times. I'm not sure if people realize that. You know, just like what movies I made up. He was standing in one of them pandemic lines, you know. one of them lines, you know, when the COVID came and the corona, you couldn't go in stores deep. They only let 3-4 people in it. Duck was standing outside in the line, and this shit happened, you know. He was gunned down. One of the gunmen even tried to gun down his girlfriend. I'm not sure if people realize this. Somebody tried to gun down his girlfriend. I believe she fired back. You know, by the grace of God, she was able to survive. You know, it was somebody else that was gunned, but he survived, you know. We know who he is, but I don't think he want to do any interviews. I'm not going to tell you who he is. I'm not going to plug his page on Instagram or anything like that. He don't want to be involved, so we ain't putting him involved. But it's somebody else survived from this shit, man. Damn near died. So I don't think this is the same. But subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's about all I can tell you on that. Nobody's telling. You don't hear no rumors and no cooperation. So this look like FBG Duck case is going to go on against the Oblock 5, you know. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the Homie Truth. Yeah, buddy, it's the Homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. And a lot of people always asking me about FBG Duck case. You know, I actually went to his crime scene to kind of get a little information and share that with you guys, because I thought that was crazy. You know, I think this time period in the culture is going to be a big time period, and I want to document it on my YouTube channel. So we came to Duck crime scene. I did that video. I actually gonna put the link of that video in the description and in the comment section so you can go check it out. But I actually went to his crime scene to kind of get a feel of it. You know, a lot of people was asking me to do that. I actually got an opportunity to get my hand on some paperwork. I actually had an opportunity to talk to some people who was close to the situation. I had an opportunity to talk to some people who was actually around when that shit happened. When I looked into the paperwork, I actually looked into it deep. I actually listened to Duck Mama have an interview on Vlad TV. She spoke about Dose Cabana not being the first thing that happened to Duck. So I looked into the information, and I noticed that a lot of people spoke on Duck going into a store called Milano's first when he noticed some fans walking there who wasn't really fans. They were the people trying to hurt him. We actually at Milano's right now, cameraman. If you can see, that's actually the boutique right there. Actually in the basement. You know, they sell a lot of dope shit. When Duck died, it was a receipt in his pocket when he was gunned down. He had a receipt in his pocket for over $200. It showed that he bought a t-shirt and a pair of socks from out of this establishment right here. According to some of the witnesses and even his mama, some people walked in this store trying to take pictures. Asked Duck, what's up, can we take some pictures and shit? And, you know, he must have knew that that wasn't no fans. That was like that moment, you know. He actually asked somebody in here, can he go in the back, according to his mother and people who I talked to. Duck actually was so smart, according to someone I spoke with. They say that he actually warned some people, y'all be careful when y'all go out there, because some people out there on some crazy shit, right? He asked somebody in here, can he go in the back? And they told him no. I guess, you know, they got merchandise, he a gangbanger or whatever. They didn't want to be a part of anything. He actually left out of this store, drove around a little bit, I guess, after those people left and shit, and came back to the store, Dose Cabana, which is actually down there. Actually, right down the street. Actually, not down the street, a couple buildings down. We're gonna go down there again. But he went in here and people came in here, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. He noticed the people who tried to kill him, you know. It was actually 2 cars that pulled up, 4 gunmen. You hear me? That's crazy. You feel me? Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 gunmen. A lot of people talk about the camera. Let's see. Can you get any cameraman? Do you see any cameras around here? What about, look, oh, I spot one right across the street. See it? Right across the street. I see a camera there. I'm pretty sure that's right in front of this building. Because a lot of people ask me about that camera. So, we're gonna actually go in this store because I want to see what Duck seen when he went in this store. Give me a chance. People actually in that store watching, so you gotta try to sneak it in there. So give me an opportunity. It's the Homie Truth. This is the store that FBG Duck lost his life in. We're gonna go in here because I kind of want to see some of the things that Duck seen. Hopefully they let me film in here.
Hey guys, how are you?
How you doing? My cousin told me about this store. I wanted to come check it out. If that's okay.
Thank you.
Pretty dope. This is dope. on. So I guess this is what he seen when he walked out the door. He walked out, you know, think he noticed, looked both ways. He didn't see those guys who were acting like fans in the store anymore. I think that's the moment where he probably got in his car, because they said he was parked across the street somewhere. He's parked across the street somewhere. I guess he got in his car, must have drove down here. Because I heard reports that he drove around the block. I'm not sure, because Dolce & Gabbana is right here. So I believe that he must have just drove up a little bit. He got his socks and stuff because they found the receipt in his pocket. I guess he drove up some. As you can see, cameraman, show him this is a great neighborhood, cameraman. This is where all the Bears players live at, Oprah Winfrey, all kind of successful people come over down. And I guess, remember, it's his son's birthday. He's buying gifts. He comes to Dolce & Gabbana. As you can see, we just left out that store. We had to cut the audio down because they didn't really want us recording, but he let us record. We just cut the audio down. This is actually Dolce & Gabbana. This is the store that FBG Duck went in when he was spotted. You clearly can see where that light pole is at right there. That's where Duck was on the ground fighting for his life at. He was hard-bodied. He was shot a lot of times. The guy actually, we seen them fighting for his life, you know. That's very sad. This is actually a story. And I want to tell you guys something crazy. Duck was actually standing. He was actually standing in line because it was during the corona, you know. Let me tell you something that's crazy. He was actually standing in line, right? Because it's the corona going on right now. So, you know, you can't just come in, cameraman. You can't just walk right in. They was letting like 3-4 people in at a time due to the corona. Got to have your face mask on. So it was people lined up out here, okay? And the shooters rolled past and seen Duck out here lined up, okay? They never left. They must have been padding like either somewhere parked down here or like somewhere parked down here, cameraman. But they noticed him get in his car and ride off. He was standing in line. They let a few people in, let a girl, like 2 girls in. He was standing in line right here, and a car pulled up right here, right where that man walking in. A car pulled up right here, okay? 4 people bailed out the cars. 2 cars, 4 shooters. They gunned Duck down, okay? Right where those people are standing at right there is actually where his body was at. So, it's a sad situation, man. Like I say, I'm not sure if this case gonna get solved. There's plenty of cameras. Let's see. People ask me about the camera. I hear that a lot. You see the camera up here. We got Chanel across the street. What about the camera? I hear a lot of people say things about it. I see one right there about fans need for our bill. It's a camera. You see that camera? I see another camera right there. Okay, so it is cameras now, you know. So don't get it wrong. Duck murder was caught on camera. Now, you know, if people like this, you know what I'm saying? You don't really know who the shooters is, you know? You need somebody to say, hey, that guy who got his head down, that face mask over his face so you can't see, that's dude. That's dude. Until you able to get that, the smoking gun, an eyewitness, some testimony, some fingerprints, some DNA evidence, I believe it's gonna be a hard case to solve. But the feds picked this case up because of how Duck died. You know, he died crazy. Kind of seemed like it hit. Seemed deeper than music. Kind of seemed like what they say. You know, maybe he had a bag on him, but crazy situation, man. R.I.P. Big Cloud. But yeah, Dolce & Gabbana, where FBG Duck lost his life. Actually, right there, man. Sad situation. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the homie 2 telling the street report.